we're just gonna, I think, destroy this tank at this point. Oh, that's like the most satisfying sound ever. I want to do it to my 125. Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're gonna take a little bit of a break from moving because I'm just super sick of it. I can't take it anymore. All right, we're not gonna do any driving today. Okay, thank goodness. But I want to talk about kind of like the projects that I'm doing here at the house, at the new place. Get you guys up to speed with what my vision is, I guess, for the space, and then talk a little bit about some individual projects and stuff that I'm working on right now. So I hope you find that interesting. I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of ideas right now, and I know a lot of them are not good. So maybe you guys can help me out as we go through the video. Let me know, drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think of this or that, and if I should proceed with that, or if I should bail, or whatever. So thank you for your help. I appreciate it. So I got a bunch of stuff here. Obviously the old sand waterfall tank. I have this cabinet that, again, I mentioned we were, probably will throw a 40 breeder on, but I don't know. The holding tank over here, got some styrofoam down there. I guess we'll talk about that later. All the fish are doing good. They've been in here for, I think, like almost a week now, so no additional casualties. Everything is good. We got some S-Repins in a bag here, also a week. I can't believe it hasn't started to die yet, but I mean, there's a lot going on here. But this is what I wanted to talk about today, and this is my vision for, I guess, I don't want to say like most of the tanks in here, but this is kind of a hybrid situation. So let's start with the stand, okay? So this is an Imagitarium brand metal stand, all right? Imagitarium's like Petco's kind of no-name brand, or I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like their general brand, I guess. And I picked one of these up. This is for a 40 breeder, because this is a 40 breeder, and I think it was like 50 bucks. Okay, you can get them online if you want, but none of them are prime, so you got to pay shipping. So whatever, if you can find them in store, that's what I did. Okay, so I didn't put the bottom brace on it. Those are sitting over here just because I don't think they're 100% necessary. I don't know, I might add them later. Who knows? All right, I 100% take that back. You definitely do need to put these bottom pieces on because it just helps cinch everything together. It turns out without those, these are slightly just not, like it sucks them in, But you couldn't tell without putting this in. So 100%, if you got these stands, put the bottom pieces on. Whoa. But I just really wanted to get a tank on here and see how flush this was gonna sit. Okay, obviously, the 40 breeder has rims. I already took the bottom rim off here. Here's a shot of me doing that. Well, we're just gonna, I think, destroy this tank at this point. I'm just kidding, guys. I gotta run a blade under here. Always cut away from yourself and use two hands, because I'm 100% using two hands right now, right? But here, let me put the camera down to get this off of here. There we go. There we go, look at that. You guys hear that? Oh, that's like the most satisfying sound ever. Nice and easy now. Oh yeah, look at how easy that was. First try, just peeling it up. There's a little crack over here. Whoa, we don't want this to fall. Oh, so close. Come on, come on. Oh, there we go. All right, so we got the bottom off. Now we have a ton of silicone on here that we want to take a nice new sharp razor blade to and skim off the bottom, just so that when this sits on the stand, it's completely flush with it. Okay, and then we can make adjustments to our stand if we need to. But anyway, the most important thing is that when we get down here and we look at how this sits, we don't want to have any gaps in here. And you can see that we have a small gap. All right, and you can see here that the ends here sit a little bit higher than this lower point. So we have a lot of pressure here in the corners, or actually we have less pressure here. Wait, we're gonna have unwanted pressure in the points along here where it's not supported, and that could be a problem. So one of the ways that we can counteract that is by putting a piece of styrofoam or even like a nice sheet of plywood underneath the tank to kind of help soften these points and get more of an even distribution of weight down when the tank is filled up. And so that's something that we want to make as close to perfect as possible. Now, a 40-gallon tank isn't huge. It gets a lot more important when you're dealing with bigger tanks, okay, over 100 gallons, 200 gallons. You 100% want to make sure that those tanks are sitting flat, because you could end up having a big crack through your tank one morning, and you do not want that to happen. So I'm not like losing sleep over whether or not this gets perfect or not, but I just want to do the best I can, okay? And so you can see I came down here with the angle grinder and I was trying to grind these down. That's something that I might experiment with a little bit more to see if we can get it better. I might undo these bolts and try and raise this up, but we'll probably just go with a styrofoam bottom, and then we won't have to worry so much about it. There's something else, there's a reason for why I'm going with these stands, and we'll talk about that in just a second, but first I want to talk about what I did here. Okay, so this tank will eventually not have a rim, all right, but I wanted to do a little experiment and see what this looked like. Okay, so I took my Dremel over here with my blade, and I didn't even mark anything out. I kind of just did it by eye, and it actually turned out to be pretty straight, but I just went through and I cut a kind of, pretty much like half of the rim off. You can see the amount here that I took off. Focus, dude. And so standing back and looking at that, if we had to have a rim on this tank, I can do that. You guys know that I hate rimmed tanks. Maybe you don't know that, but it's like pretty much my only pet peeve in this hobby is having to deal with a tank that has a rim. Because when you're trying to make a really cool aquascape, a rim can definitely get in the way. And so I think just by cutting out half of it here, I think this doesn't look that bad. Honestly, it doesn't bug me that much. Obviously, if we have an entire 40 rim on there, that's substantial. That bugs me. I don't like that. That blocks a lot of where the scape could be. And so I definitely don't want that, and I think this is going to be good. I don't think it's going to compromise it structurally, okay? Because it's still connected here on all four corners, and we didn't cut up into where the silicone sits. So if you think about this being adhered to the glass, if we went any higher, we'd probably start cutting into silicone, and that's what I didn't want to do, just because I didn't want to have more of a mess to clean up, and because I was also thinking like from a structural perspective. And the reason why I test ran this on the 40 is because I want to do it to my 125. I'll flip the camera around before we talk about the 125, because I realize it might just be boring looking at the same 40-gallon tank, but it might be better than looking at me. I don't know. Anyway, the 125, part of the reason why you guys haven't seen the 125 in a long time is because of that rim. Not really, but like kind of. So it kind of discouraged me from really doing an aquascape that took a long time to make, and something that would be like really fun to look at, because I was like, oh, I don't, the rims on it are huge, and I don't really want to take the rims off and do glass bracing, Euro bracing, whatever, because it's just a lot of work. And I kind of thought that I would be getting rid of it and getting a really big rimless tank anyway, but that's not going to happen. We're going to be using the 125. It was always my plan to get in there and do some work to it this summer, but then the move came up, so it was like, okay, well, that project needs to get put on the back burner again for longer. So when we get that tank in here, we're going to be cutting the rim off, okay, but not the entire rim. We're going to be doing like what we did on this. Okay, I think it's going to work, and structurally, I think it's going to be fine. We'll go up as high as we can until, we reach where the silicone is on that, and then we're just going to cut off the top, okay, just like we did this. And that should give us literally like 1.5 inches, maybe even 2 inches of more viewing space on the tank itself, and then we'll leave the bottom the way it is on the 125. I don't think that's going to be an issue. So that's my plan, but I wanted to trial run it here on this tank to see if it would work. And like I said, I freehanded this, and I think it looks pretty good, but when we do it on the 125, we'll line it up, we'll draw it out, and we'll go really slow not to cause any damage to the tank. If you look here, I don't know if you probably aren't going to be able to see this, but there's a couple places where I did nick the glass, but you can't tell. So it's not a huge deal if that happens. You end up not really being able to see it anyway. Just don't, you know, keep going and cut through your tank. I almost forgot about finishing up talking about the stands. Okay, so here we go. We got the styrofoam block underneath here. This is rather a thick piece of styrofoam. It came with the packing material for material. This actually was just some packaging material that came with like a cabinet thing, or rather the TV stand that I set up down here. And it's a little thick. I mean, if it was half as thick, that'd be great, but it was the perfect dimensions front to back. So I have another one of them perfect for the other 40 that we're gonna have down here. So the real reason why I wanted to move to these stands, okay? One, they're lighter than using 2x4s. Okay, 2x4s are great, definitely cheaper than a $50 stand, but here's the thing, okay? Yes, you can custom make a wooden stand to look really nice, okay? But I spent 50 bucks on this. It's perfectly ready to go. I can adjust with these little legs to make sure everything's right. There's no trial and error, I guess. With making the stand, you can definitely screw up and make a wooden stand after you spend 30 minutes making it. Like, that's not gonna happen with this. And then the other thing is that this is metal, right? So we can get some nice wood, like if we have some of this left over, we can cut a piece that'll cover this. We can hot glue some magnets to the back of that wood, and then we can just magnet on a front and sides to this. And then we can stain the wood, we can paint the wood, we can do anything we want to it. So that's why I'm thinking these stands are gonna be the way to go. Anyway, guys, that's kind of what I'm working on, is just getting like the final tanks where I want them to be. I gotta move the 33 here in a little bit, and I'm trying to decide if I wanna pick these stands because they make a 55, which would also fit the 33, and then like where I wanna put that. Do I want it up against this wall? Do I wanna put it in between here? Or do I wanna put the 125 here? This space over here has just become like the Fortnite station. You can see I got the really cheap plywood up on the walls. I don't think it looks terrible, but again, it's not like supposed to be beautiful or anything. So we might have some other opportunities to upgrade the space later on, but that's not what's important right now. This space is what's important. So I need to get some more of these stands, I think, unless you guys have experience with these and they're a horrible idea. Let me know down in the comments. We'll start to finalize where things are gonna go. Anyway, guys, I think that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it wasn't too boring. I know there wasn't really any fish or any set up fish tanks that we looked at today, but I don't know, maybe you learned something new and hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm really also appreciating this new, not backdrop to you, the place where the sun comes from. I don't have to use a light, I'm just using natural daylight. It's very nice, very convenient. I'm excited to film more down here. So anyway, thanks again so much for watching, guys. Everybody on Patreon, you guys are helping me out so much. Everybody who's buying t-shirts and supporting the channel through the move, it's helping a tremendous amount. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload the next video. If you're watching this, I'm probably at Aquashella right now. I'm probably gonna upload this like Saturday evening, maybe, if I'm back in my hotel room and things are good to go. So if you're there, I hope we got a chance to meet. I'm looking forward to going right now, and I'm just kind of getting everything finalized. So thanks again one more time, guys, for being a part of the journey, and we will see you in the next one.